Also played by Joel White, who's stuck with it, and Joel White lays out!
Whoa!
Yeah, we only got 60 seconds to do this episode, so let's go. That was a shot clock joke. That was the first shot clock joke of this episode.
Probably the only shot.
Yeah.
Joke.
I don't think it went over
I don't
that
think
well.
that really landed. So, if you guys don't already know, there's a lot of changes to college lacrosse this week. Some really exciting changes, so let's break them down. First and foremost, something that they were experimenting with last year, the 60-second shot clock has arrived in college lacrosse.
As a fan and as a player, I am super excited about this. I think about myself when I was in college. There was a lot of dead time, and I think I would actually like to have a shot clock so that we'd be forced to take more aggressive actions during the game.
I think for me, when I was playing, I definitely would have liked the shot clock because I would have just taken more shots.
Exactly.
Like, I just would have taken more shots. I was always tentative, but now it's like the urgency's there. No matter what, we're gonna see a shot in 60 seconds. So I think as a fan, this is also gonna be a lot more exciting. I was watching the MLL this past weekend, and I love how fast the play is. I can't wait to see that in college lacrosse. All right, let's talk about the shot clock from a coaching perspective.
This changes everything for midfielders. You absolutely have to be a two-way player if you're a midfielder. This is kind of how the game used to be played.
So no longer are you able to get possession, hold it, get your offensive middies on, your defensive middies off. That would take way too much time now with only a 60-second shot clock. So it's really gonna change the midfield position the most.
I mean, if you think about it though, in the MLL, there still are D middies.
That's
It's not
true.
like they totally went away. So teams are just gonna have to be way more efficient with the way that they switch on middies during the game. I think it's awesome.
This is so awesome. It's gonna be so fun to watch. I think it's gonna make the television product of the game way more exciting too. Okay, so part of the rule also is that you now have 20 seconds to cross the midline when you're clearing the ball, and then once you cross the midline, you have 60 seconds to shoot the ball.
We've been talking about this for years. I still can't believe they did it. Not only is the 60-second shot clock in the proposal, also the dive has been added. This is a little bit more controversial.
Well, the dive is
Tell me about the dive.
The dive is actually back. So the dive was allowed in college lacrosse, but in 1998, they got rid of it for safety reasons. So it's been 20 years since we've had a dive in college lacrosse.
The ruling on the dive here is that you can't dive towards what's called the mouth of the goal, so the center of the goal, and that's to keep goalies safe. If you remember in 2017, there were 2 dives when Denver played Maryland.
Somehow holds on, beats the crease, and Hickok!
This one from Colin Heacock, which is like incredibly athletic. He dives across the cage, puts it in the back of the net, and while he's landing, his foot hits the crease.
No goal, he was in!
The thing about the dive is that Denver goal from Donahue,
Donahue has an angle!
that would have changed the game completely.
Donahue! It doesn't count!
And if you can score goals like that, it's gonna make it more exciting, there's gonna be more aggressive plays towards the goal, and it's just gonna be overall more fun to watch.
The dive adds a lot of extra weight on the officials here, because they have to say whether it was fully towards the mouth of the goal or to the sides.
Or if your foot touched the crease before you jumped. Now there's a lot more pressure on refs to make the right calls. So the dive was made most famous in college lacrosse by Gary Gait with the air gate.
Leaps over the crease area, stuffs it home. Unbelievable, unprecedented in the field game.
And after that, we saw a lot of awesome dive goals in the MLL from guys like Mike Powell. Remember that one? Behind the goal. That one was dope. Chaz Woodson.
Woodson double teamed. It doesn't matter. Scores again. Chaz Woodson.
And Inside Lacrosse even did a whole special for ESPN on the dive in 2008.
Did you mention the legend of Diving Doug?
So, Diving Doug. So, Doug Knight from Virginia. This guy is like the legend of the dive from college lacrosse. I mean, I wasn't watching college lacrosse at this time, but
I'm gonna be honest, I had never heard of Diving Doug. But the fact there's a guy in our sport named Diving Doug, and I did not know about him.
we've actually coined him Diving Doug on this.
No, Samir, everyone's called him Diving Doug. He's the legend of Diving Doug. They're gonna make an ESPN 30 for 30 about it.
All the way over tonight, he'll come in looking for Rob. He's
What if I told you?
Yes.
All right, it
I
wasn't
mean,
us.
they've already made a lot of content around Diving Doug. You can find it on YouTube. We will link it. Diving Doug Knight played at Virginia. Check him out. We were going to ask you guys who you thought the most legendary diver was in our sport, but we already know it's Diving Doug.
Diving Doug,
So
come on.
That's, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, there was Dan the Diver, but he's not nearly as good as Doug. Not nearly as good as Doug the diver. No, Diving Doug.
Diving Doug Unite. Coach Bill Tierney had a press conference. When was that? 2017?
2017.
We need a shot clock in this game, and we need to let the dive be back in the game. We've taken away the two greatest parts of the game. It's silly.
So Coach Tierney at a press conference in 2017 talked about how important it was to bring back shot clock and bring the dive back.
To see young men work as hard as they do, make that kind of athletic effort, and have some guy in stripes say, no.
And that has officially happened. There will be one more review of these rules on September 12th, but most likely it's going to go through. So what do you guys think about the shot clock? What do you think about the dive? There were some arguments against the dive, a couple of goalies posting pictures of their x-rays.
I mean, look, it definitely makes the game a little bit more dangerous for goalies. There's no doubt about that. That's why they took the dive away. But it does make the game a lot more exciting. So I think if the refs can actually officiate it, I'm excited about it.
Okay, so a huge week for lacrosse, and we want to hear your thoughts. Put those in the comments below. What do you think about the shot clock and the dive?
Last week, we made our predictions for the MLL Championship. And as always, we were way off.
Yep.
No! We were. We couldn't have been more off.
We were 100% incorrect. My dream scenario is Chesapeake versus the Czars.
We failed the test, got a 0.
Yeah.
It was bad. So we said that Chesapeake and New York were gonna be in the finals, but it looks like it's actually going to be Dallas versus the Outlaws. And this is interesting, both of these teams are owned by NFL franchises. It's something we talked about last week, and I think it definitely plays a part in how these teams were able to get this far. A quick review of the semifinal games, starting with Denver and Chesapeake. Zach Currier had 4 goals.
Rebound and dropped in. What a beautiful play by Zach Currier.
Eric Law had this ridiculous behind the back.
Beats a cutter to behind the back. BTB put home by Eric Law.
And this game was super close all the way to the end.
And the pass was high, and the time runs out, and the Denver Outlaws will in fact go back to the MLL Championship game.
Next, let's talk about New York versus Dallas. Dallas got up early, and Joel White had a couple of incredible goals. Look at this goal where he kind of like hockeys it up the field, picks it up behind the net, and backhands it in.
Joel White is stuck with it, and Joel White lays out!
Joel White has to be the best LSM in the game.
He had another goal in this game where he just kind of pulled up.
Now White looking for a second one, and he's got it.
He is one of the best offensive, defensive players. Here's something I think is really interesting about Dallas versus Denver. Ben Reeves is a starting attackman on the Rattlers.
Reeves trying to get a shot off. He stuck with it and got the goal.
This is his second championship game in like 3 months.
Reeves with the bouncer, and he's on the board.
Crazy.
That's pretty crazy, right? You play for a national championship with Yale, you win that game, and now you play for a MLL championship with Dallas.
Reeves score.
He's got to think that championships are just kind of like normal at this point for him.
He must be in great shape,
Probably, yeah.
right?
Probably.
Probably pretty good shape.
If you are watching this the day that we posted it, then tomorrow is Play Lax Day.
But if you're watching it the day after, then it is Play Lax Day, and happy Play Lax Day.
And if you're watching it the day after that, then yesterday was Play Lax Day, and we hope you had a great Play Lax Day. So if you do happen to be watching this before Play Lax Day or on Play Lax Day, make sure to get out, play lacrosse, hashtag Play Lax Day when you post a picture, tag Lacrosse Network. It's just the best day of the year and a global celebration of our sport. Send us your videos. Stay tuned for our compilation video of lacrosse being played all around the world. Later this week, we are flying to South Carolina to go check out the MLL Championship game. Let us know if you're going to be there. We're going to be there playing Warp mini games at the Fan Fest. Come challenge us.
Comment below and let us know what you think about these new rules, the dive and the 60-second shot clock being added. This is going to change the college game drastically. So comment below and we'll chime in and write back to you guys. That's it.
All right, we good?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, peace.